So in the last video I made about CSS nested layout, one of my viewers contacted me and said he wasn't clear about the way I explain it, and I've decided to use this video and this demonstration to showcase what we learned in the last video. But before we get there, if you are coming across this video, please give it a thumbs up for more updates. So basically we have two types of nested layout, and that is the vertical and the horizontal. Just like the name implies, the vertical aligns HTML element on the page starting from the top, the second, the third, and with this arrangement. While the horizontal arrangement arrange things or elements on the page from left to bottom. So let's look at this illustration. If I go here at the free space and right click, inspect, and let's go ahead and open the developers tool so that we know what is going on. So if you come inside this box we just created with borders around it, you discover that if I hover on this lion tab, you discover that this box is subdivided into two. This is the first horizontal layout and this is another horizontal layout. So there are two horizontal layouts here, the first one and the second one. Then inside the second one we also have another vertical layout inside this one, and then we have another horizontal one inside this div. So if you enter here, you will discover that we have another vertical one inside this vertical, and another vertical inside this vertical, and another vertical inside this vertical. So this is basically how we arrange things on the website. I am using this format from a YouTube, and after this video we will be going to start creating a project that looks like a youtube.com. So let's look at it bit by bit. If you come here, you will first discover that we created the mother div, which starts from here to here, down here. And inside this div, we created another div, which we call it thumbnails div. So this is where we place our image element, the thumbnail that looks like a video preview. So we also created another div starting from here to here, and I call this one div 2. So I also placed another div inside it, which I call it profile pictures div. This is where I place my profile picture. And I also go ahead to create another div, which I call it video info element. This is a div that contains all the information about this video, and I have to group them in another space. So this is the div that contains our video information. So this div contains both the video information and the channel information. In this case, I just use my channel's name as a placeholder. And finally, inside the last div, we discover that we place some P elements, that is the paragraph element. We place the first paragraph element, second paragraph element, which later on we style them in our website or in our CSS as horizontal layout. Look at the first paragraph element, the second paragraph element, and the third paragraph element. Meanwhile, we just tie this profile div, and inside the profile div, we managed to put our image tag element inside this div so that we will arrange things accordingly. So if you are not clear enough, please take your time and go through this code. It's as simple as that. This is the first div. It starts from here to here, and then we put another div inside this container, which is this second div, and the second div starts from here to this place, which contains our video preview on the website. And this is our third div. The third div is inside this first container, and this third div starts from here to this place. And inside this third div, then we also have other divs inside, which start from here to this place, and another one starts from here to this place. And finally, we have some p tags inside this. So if you also go back to our CSS code, you will see how I style them bit by bit. I start by styling or naming the container, and then the second div that contains our video preview, and the third one is the profile picture div that contains our profile picture on the channel. Then we also have another div that contains all the information about this video, and this includes the channel's name and other paragraph on the web page. So if you are not clear enough, go back to the video and then play it bit by bit. You can play it and come back and play it and pause and use a slow motion to watch the video, and then gradually you will get the logic. If you have watched this video to this point, please consider giving it a thumbs up.